Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to jump into another deep dive.
Always.
So this one, well, it's pretty juicy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, way more than just like some real estate drama.
You got that right.
We're talking about Rudy Giuliani's Manhattan Penthouse.
Ah, okay.
And well, how it got wrapped up in this crazy defamation case.
I mean, that is interesting.
Yeah, it really goes beyond just like, the real estate. It's about accountability, consequences.
Yeah.
And this stunning legal outcome that's, well, it's got everyone talking.
Absolutely. What really draws me to this story is how it blends the world of, like high-end real estate with the real impact of words.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to Giuliani's claims about those Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss back in 2020.
Oh, right, right.
And a judge ultimately found those claims to be false and defamatory.
Okay, so let's rewind a sec for some context.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know Giuliani was a major player in the whole 2020 election scene. But how did his actions directly lead to, like, losing his penthouse?
Right.
It's like a domino effect.
Exactly. So the judge didn't just hit Giuliani with a fine. He actually ordered him to pay a staggering $148 million in damages to Freeman and Moss.
Wow.
And to make good on that judgment, some of Giuliani's, most prized possessions, including that luxurious Manhattan penthouse, are being handed over.
Hold on. $148 million.
Yeah.
That's serious money. I mean, we're talking about a penthouse valued at $6.5 million, smack dab in the heart of Manhattan's Upper East Side.
Right in the middle of it all. This is a pre-war building from 1906.
Wow.
Dripping with history and architectural details. You've got the Gothic-inspired brick and terracotta facade.
Oh, wow.
A semi-private elevator landing leading right to the penthouse door.
It's like the epitome of exclusivity, old world charm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
And then you step inside, and it's like stepping into another world.
Oh, tell me more.
Wood-paneled library, a cozy fireplace, breathtaking views of Central Park.
I can practically smell the leather-bound books and the mahogany. But there's a darker side to this luxurious picture.
Absolutely. This lavish lifestyle, symbolized by this very penthouse, is about to be dramatically impacted by the consequences of Giuliani's actions.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that words have a ripple effect. I mean, they can build empires, but they can topple them just as easily.
So while Giuliani was enjoying like white glove service, 200 for dead, and 47 door attendants, this legal battle was brewing in the background.
Right.
Did he see this coming at all? Was there like any attempt to salvage the situation, maybe by selling the penthouse before things went south?
Well, there was an attempt to sell back in July of 2023. He listed it, for that $6.5 million price tag, but things didn't quite go according to plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the price kept dropping, down to $5,175,000 by the time it was pulled from the market.
Wow.
In early October.
So right before the court ruling.
Yeah, it was right before.
Wow. So almost like he was racing against the clock. But in the end, time wasn't on his side. And now this penthouse, once a symbol of power and prestige, is becoming something completely different. It's a tangible representation of the consequences of his actions.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's such a powerful symbol of how quickly fortunes can shift.
Right.
How actions in one sphere of life can have such a profound impact on another. This penthouse isn't just a place to live. It's a piece of Giuliani's world that's about to become part of Freeman and Moss's story.
It's really interesting to think about, the emotions they must be going through.
Oh, for sure.
On one hand, there's this sense of, justice being served.
Right.
But on the other, it's got to be a bittersweet victory.
Yeah.
Forever linked to a painful experience.
It really begs the question, What must it be like for them to potentially walk into this space?
I know, right.
A place acquired under such unique circumstances. This penthouse, once a symbol of, life and influence that Giuliani wielded, now becomes a tangible reminder of their fight for justice.
And let's not forget, this is a story that's still unfolding.
Absolutely.
What will this penthouse represent for Freeman and Moss? Will it be a place of healing?
Right.
A symbol of their resilience?
Yeah.
Or will it always be a stark reminder of, what they had to endure?
It really makes you wonder, can a space that was once associated with such negativity be transformed into something positive?
Right.
a place of new beginnings.
Exactly.
And on a broader level, it makes you think about the stories held within the walls of all the homes around us.
It's true.
What joys and sorrows,
Mm-hmm.
what triumphs and heartbreaks have they witnessed?
It's amazing how a single penthouse in Manhattan can spark such wide-ranging reflections.
It is pretty amazing.
But this deep dive is far from over. There are more layers to uncover, more items entangled in this settlement that add even more intrigue to this already fascinating story.
Let's do it.
So let's dig a little deeper, shall we?
Let's dig in. It's really fascinating how this case has brought to light all these possessions of Giuliani's.
Yeah.
Each with its own story to tell. It's like peering into this hidden corner of his life.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This world of luxury and history and maybe even a touch of Hollywood glamour.
Okay, spill the tea. What kind of treasures are we talking about here?
Okay.
I'm picturing something straight out of an episode of Antiques Roadshow, but with a legal twist.
Well, buckle up because this collection is quite eclectic.
Okay.
We're talking about a Mercedes-Benz.
A Mercedes-Benz.
Once owned by the legendary Lauren Bacall.
No way.
Just imagine cruising down those Manhattan streets.
Oh, I know.
In a car that once carried Hollywood royalty.
Wow, talk about a piece of history with serious star power.
Oh, yeah.
And to think, this car, once a symbol of Giuliani's world, could now be in Freeman and Moss's possession? It's almost like their lives are intersecting with his in the most unexpected way.
It really blurs the lines, doesn't it?
It does.
And the collection doesn't stop there.
There's more.
So remember, Giuliani's a diehard Yankees fan.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we're also talking about sports memorabilia.
Like what?
Including World Series rings. It makes you wonder what those items represent to him,
I know.
Victories, memories, a part of his identity.
And now those very symbols of his passion, his connection to this winning team are becoming part of this complex narrative.
Yeah.
It's like the universe has a strange sense of humor, right?
It's almost poetic justice.
Yeah.
While those possessions might, hold sentimental value for Giuliani, they also represent a world that might have seemed completely out of reach for Freeman and Moss before this case.
It's true.
Yeah.
We were talking about luxury cars, celebrity connections, the thrill of championship wins.
Yeah.
A world that Giuliani inhabited. And now through this legal outcome, those elements are becoming interwoven with their story.
Yeah.
It's a powerful shift in the narrative. But as captivating as these, material possessions are, we have to remember the core issue at the heart of this whole deep dive. We're not just gawking at fancy cars and championship rings.
Right.
We're exploring the impact of words.
Right.
The consequences of defamation.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in, all the details, the penthouse, the possessions,
Right.
the glimpses into Giuliani's world. But at the end of the day, this entire situation stems from his words.
Yeah.
The accusations he leveled against Freeman and Moss.
It's a stark reminder that words can have a profound impact on people's lives.
Yep.
Especially in this digital age where information spreads like wildfire. This case serves as such a potent example of how damaging words can be, and the very real consequences they can carry.
Yeah.
There's that old saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me."
Right.
But we all know that's not true.
No.
Words can wound deeply, sometimes even more so than physical harm.
Yeah.
And in this case, Giuliani's words led to, very real financial and emotional repercussions for Freeman and Moss.
And that's why this story resonates so deeply.
Yeah.
It's a human story about justice, accountability, the fight to reclaim reputations that were unfairly tarnished.
Right.
It's a story that speaks to the power of truth and the importance of holding individuals accountable for their words.
This deep dive started with a penthouse,
Yeah.
but it's become so much more than that. It's about the ripple effect of actions, the power dynamics at play,
Yeah.
and the enduring fight for justice.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we all have a responsibility to use our words carefully, thoughtfully, and with an awareness of the impact they can have.
Yeah.
This penthouse, those possessions, they're all threads in this much larger tapestry of a story that's still being woven.
And speaking of this evolving story, I'm curious about the penthouse itself.
Yeah.
Now that it's, entangled in this case and potentially in the hands of Freeman and Moss, what happens next?
Right.
Does it become like a symbol of their resilience, a place of healing? Or does it carry too much baggage from its previous owner?
It's a question that raises a lot of interesting possibilities, and it ties into the larger theme of, transformation.
Yeah.
Can a space that once held such negativity be repurposed,
Right.
reimagined, and infused with a new energy?
You make a great point. It makes you think about the potential for change,
Yeah.
for rewriting narratives, not just in our personal lives, but also in the physical spaces we inhabit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something for all of us to ponder. How can we take spaces that have been marked by negativity and transform them into something positive, something that reflects our values and aspirations?
That's a powerful thought,
Yeah,
and a perfect segue into the final part of our deep dive,
I like it.
where we'll explore those very questions. What will become of this penthouse? And more importantly, what does this case tell us about accountability, justice, and the enduring human spirit?
It really is incredible how a single piece of real estate like this penthouse can become like a microcosm of these larger societal issues.
It's true.
We're talking about power, accountability,
Yeah.
the weight of history.
Yeah.
It's all there playing out in this one very specific location.
You're so right. It's like zooming in on a single cell under a microscope
Right.
and suddenly realizing it contains like an entire universe of complexity. And in this case, that universe includes the history of the Upper East Side itself.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, a neighborhood that's synonymous with affluence,
Mm-hmm.
but also steeped in its own unique narrative.
Think about it. This is a neighborhood where generations of wealth and influence have resided.
Yeah.
But beneath that surface of elegance and exclusivity,
Right.
there are countless stories unfolding.
Yeah.
Stories of ambition, success, and sometimes, even scandal.
And now with this case, it feels like we're seeing a shift in that narrative.
Yeah.
Almost like a crack in the veneer. This story of accountability playing out on such a public stage.
Right.
It's almost like the walls of that penthouse are suddenly whispering a new chapter.
And it's a chapter that's still being written.
It's true.
We don't know what Freeman and Moss will choose to do with this penthouse. Will they live there?
Right.
Sell it? Donate it? I
Yeah.
mean, each option carries its own significance, its own message.
It's fascinating to think about, all the possibilities. If they were to live there,
Yeah.
would it feel like a reclaiming of power?
Yeah. Yeah.
A turning point in their story,
Mm-hmm.
or would the weight of the past,
Right.
the memories associated with Giuliani be just too overwhelming?
On the other hand, selling it could be seen as a way to close that chapter,
Okay.
to move forward without any tangible connection to the ordeal they endured.
Yes.
It's a way to turn that piece of real estate into something that can benefit their lives in a very practical way.
Right.
And then there's the option of donating it,
Oh, yeah.
perhaps to an organization that supports victims of defamation
Mm.
or promotes voter rights.
Oh, wow.
That would be a powerful statement, wouldn't it?
It would.
A way to transform something born out of negativity into a force for good.
It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, there's always the potential for growth, for
Yeah.
healing,
Right.
for using our experiences to create positive change.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this story so compelling. It goes beyond the legal outcome, beyond the real estate.
Yeah.
It speaks to something deeper,
It does.
something about the resilience of the human spirit.
And ultimately, that's what this whole deep dive has been all about. We started with, a penthouse,
Mhm.
a symbol of wealth and power, but we've ended up exploring these much larger themes.
It's
The power of words,
right.
the importance of accountability,
Yeah.
and that enduring fight for justice.
This case serves as such a potent reminder that our actions have consequences.
Yeah, they do.
That truth matters,
Mm.
and that even in a world where it sometimes feels like the powerful operate with impunity, there's a mechanism for justice.
That's right.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you, our listener, with a thought-provoking question.
Okay.
If you were in Freeman or Moss's shoes,
Mm.
standing on the threshold of that penthouse, what emotions would wash over you? What would you do with this space that has been so entangled with your own story?
It's a powerful image to ponder, and it leaves us with a sense of hope. a reminder that even amidst complexity and injustice, there's always the possibility for healing, for transformation, for new beginnings.